bit under the weather today, but just want to give you a real quick, brief story. It's going to be a series, and it's my story. It's actually a story of I was married, got divorced, did some introspection, and then I got remarried again. So, just letting you know, not all is lost. So, let's get into it. I was married for about 6.5, almost 7 years. Things were not working out. I had a child. It was draining. I was at the point where you start thinking some dark thoughts about yourself, because you feel like you're trapped and you have no way out and you have no one to listen to. I mean, no one's going to listen to you, because men need to talk sometimes. I only had one friend. Thank goodness for him. But other than that, I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't talk to my wife because she was more or less the source of my issues. Make a long story short, we separated, and I had to, in the meantime, we bought a house, and then I had to sell the house due to the divorce. So yeah, that's a wealth transfer. So when I was telling you about how much Keisha can drain on you, hey, not saying that my wife was a Keisha, but your biggest financial decisions, your biggest, most impactful decisions, yeah, that was about, in terms of equity, I had about $270,000 gone because I had to sell the house. And I bought it at an extremely, extremely cheap price too. So that tells you how that decision can impact your life. And yeah, I had to start over. And I had no idea how to start over, where to start over. I didn't know where I was going to live. I didn't know how I was going to live. The only good thing I had is at least I still had my job and I still had health insurance. So that was the only pluses that I had. But I also knew that this couldn't be it to my life. There's another YouTuber out there. His channel's called More to Life. I got to give him his props. There is more to life. So what I actually ended up doing is, when I did some introspection, I started thinking about what were my most pleasant experiences. I'm not talking strictly about sex or anything like that. I mean, what experiences with the opposite sex, with women, did I have, dating experiences where I can look back fondly on and be like, you know what, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't stressful. I don't feel as if I was in a transactional relationship or on a transactional date. So I went back and I thought, and they all seemed to be with either older women, slightly, or with women who were not from the United States culture. Then I thought, like, okay, I'm damn near 40 now, so I'm not going to go for the older women. Let me really lean into what's been happening with women of different cultures that, where I'm from. America, of course. So then I thought I in the past, I've dated women from the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rican, other islands in the Caribbean, other countries in Africa. So, and these were all decent interactions. I didn't feel bad afterwards when thinking about them, because I definitely would have remembered if they were transactional or not. Sorry, not sorry. I do hold grudges. Can't help that. So, like I said, I leaned into it. I leaned into that, and I also made a list for myself of what do I want and what I don't want. I'll get more into that list as time goes on with this series. But just letting you know, I actually had to, quote unquote, do some work. I wrote it down, and actually I assigned numerical point value to it. I know it sounds very pedantic and meticulous, but that's what you have to be. Because again, this is the most impactful decision that you are going to make. impacts your finances, your health. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So that's what I leaned into. And I got married to, I went through the process, dated several of them. Actually, after divorce, I actually had the best time of my life dating. It was not stressful at all because different outlook, and I'm also dating from a different pool of women, which were not American Keishas. So yeah, dating was fun. I didn't spend a whole bunch of money. The women actually liked me for who I was. They were passionate women, which I have to say, if you're out there, get yourself a passionate woman, a woman who's all about you, not these transactional natured Keishas. Because I know most content creators, they get up here, they start talking about Keisha this, Keisha that. I do a little bit of talk about Keisha just to, raise awareness, but we got to come up with some solutions. And in my opinion, I am a success story when it comes to that. I'm Keisha free. Shout out to AC with his words of stay Keisha free. I stayed Keisha free, and my life got infinitely better because of it. So as the series goes on, like I told you, I'm going to get more into it. But here's the end of this video right here. Again, I'm a bit under the weather, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to be able to give you tomorrow. And also, I'm going to have to start recording these in 1080p because doing it in 4K is a bitch to upload. And it takes too long, and the files are too unwieldy. So, yeah. That's that. 1080p. I'm pretty sure you won't even notice. And that's the end of my quick little story. And I'll get more into it later.